Less bodies around now, does that make it, manageable is the right word, but a little easier to kind of deal with people more one-on-one if necessary, and just the entire group?
Well, I think what's happening right now is that the group is narrowing, so it's getting more competitive. Yes, there's less bodies. It's more manageable for the training staff, and just when you're traveling and managing practice groups and all that kind of stuff. But the important message is that the group is narrowing. It's getting competitive. It's time to continue to get better here and show what you have, because the end of camp is fairly close here. So we're looking forward to seeing people show what they got to do in the game tonight, and on the weekend here as well.
Jay, what have you made of the internal competition at certain spots so far throughout camp?
Yeah, I think that's actually the story of camp, Tony. I think it's no secret that people are fighting for positioning within the depth chart. So that might mean a player might not make our team out of camp, but they're fighting to be the first call-up. They're fighting to leave an impression on the coaching staff and the management group. There's also a group of players that are fighting to be on the Edmonton Oilers. And it's an interesting mix of people because they all bring some different skill sets. I've talked about this over the last week and a half or so, but for me, the players decide this. They show. And as much as we've put emphasis on quality practices and making sure that we're getting what we need from a team perspective, it comes down to players actually showing it in the exhibition games. And, we get another opportunity tonight against, I'm sure, a pretty strong Calgary lineup.
Jay, your two camps have been situations where it's a good team and it's a real privilege to be in an elite group. It's not like there's 12 spots up for grabs.
Yeah.
Is that what part of this camp has served for some of the prospects and the younger players, is to remind them that there's still quite a gulf to bridge because of where this team is at as an organization overall?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say that we're at a unique life stage as a team, and that's a good thing. That means that we have high expectations internally. Forget what the outside world and what the good people here in the media put on us or heap on us, but just internally, we have the expectation to be the best that we can be. We want to reach our full potential. In all reality, that means that there's not a ton of spots up for grab, but like I said, for the bubble players or for the depth players, they're fighting for relevance in terms of where they fit on the pecking order of call-ups and that type of thing. So it's been a competitive camp. I've enjoyed it. We've gotten a lot out of our practices. We continue to instill some things. But like I said, for the people that are fighting to get into the Edmonton Oilers lineup, exhibition games are starting to run out here. So it's important to show well. And like I said, we got a big game tonight against Calgary.
So, Jay, there's roughly 40 players left. Every player that's here either has an NHL contract or is in on a PTO, with the exception of one who's going to play tonight. And that's Alex Peters. He's the only guy that's in on an AHL deal. What has he done to impress you over the last couple of years, because you played him a game last year in preseason as well? What has he done over the last year plus in the organization that sort of put him in a position where he's sitting here and he's still around and he's going to play tonight?
Yeah, we're excited about PD. Obviously, I had the opportunity to coach him in the American League, and I saw what he could do at that level. He was still young in experience level at that time, but I thought last year he came in and he gave us a great game. He's a big body. He has some pedigree. He's a high draft pick in Dallas's organization, and he just keeps getting better and better. And he fits kind of that mold that Ken Holland loves and this organization loves, with big D men that can be in shooting lanes, get in the way, get some skin on some people. And, we're going into a tough building tonight, and I think PD coming into the lineup, it's a great opportunity for him to continue to not only open eyes within the organization, but anybody in his situation that gets to play an NHL exhibition game gets to showcase their skills in front of the entire league. So it's a great opportunity for PD. He's a great guy. He's an asset within our organization, very much valued in Bakersfield. So we're expecting him to have a good game tonight.
In your last answer, you mentioned internal expectations. Are you and the staff finding that as this team evolves, you're having to set those less and less in terms of expectations and standards, and the players are starting to police themselves to some degree?
Yeah, I think where we're at with our players is, they came back early to camp this year. They've demonstrated that there's a level of seriousness about our opportunity. We want to make sure that we hit the ground running. Coming out of the beginning of our regular season schedule. We've done some things here that we're proud of in camp, but we got to continue to take a step. But I would agree with you. I think where our leadership group's at, where we're at in the life stage of our team, our job as coaches to prepare the players, but they're taking it over, and that's a really good sign.
How difficult is the job of, these kids dream of playing in the NHL, and then either yourself or someone on the staff has to say, hey, not right now anyways. How is that process with younger and sometimes older players?
Well, I think it's all in how you deliver the news, right? I think it's interesting. I think when younger players come in, they might have been a top dog in junior hockey or college hockey or in Europe, and then they come in and they see the level. And the first step that a lot of those younger players have to understand is how hard it is to practice with the best players in the world, what's expected of them. So they internally take their own measure against the top players. I think what happens when we reassign people, we don't just say, okay, we'll see you at next year's camp. We give them a plan. Their message is clear, it's succinct, it's to the point, and it sets them up for wherever they go next. That could be back to junior hockey, or it could be down to the Bakersfield Condors camp. So I think they're leaving here with some good feedback, some honest feedback, and they're set up with a plan to try and take a step as a player. We take pride in how clear our messaging is.
I know he's not playing tonight, but I was doing a feature on Ryan.
Okay.
And just wanted to talk to you about his development since you were here with Todd, and then now, and just the player he's become. He's getting better 12 seasons into his career. Yeah,
I was quite proud of his year last year, obviously, career year. Someone who is extremely versatile. He can play in a checking role. He can go into the middle. He's just as effective in the middle as he is on the wing. He plays with top players. He's a real facilitator on our power play. Cerebral guy, low maintenance, high production. Those are the types of players that are coaches' favorites.
He's the guy that he comes in at #1 overall pick, but he's always, I want to be better at this. I want to be better at this. I want to be a better checker. I want to be better. So I guess just there's not a lot of guys like that. Just continually want to continue improving and find something different in it.
I believe the term is intrinsically driven, and that would be a way I would describe Ryan. What maybe the fan base doesn't realize is how competitive he is in everything that he does, whether it's playing golf, whether it's at the horse track, whether it's playing table tennis or pool. This guy's ultra competitive. We're lucky to have him.
Now expectations going into the season. He hit that 100-point barrier. It's like hitting a home run, and everyone expects you to do it every time you go up to the plate.
Yeah.
What are kind of realistic expectations for Ryan?
Realistic, he wants to help our team get to where it needs to get to, and that's the most important thing. That's where his focus is.